Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I have a new deck to show. First, before that, we are going to show you the coins that I use and the damage counters. So I have 4 main coins that I use, depending on the scenario. So if I'm using my Psychic deck, I will most likely use my Battle Academy coin with Armarouge, Pikachu, and Darkrai on it. Right, that's Armarouge. Or my adorable little Palmont coin. But for this newest deck that I've made, I will be using either this Zeraora coin or a Caradon coin. Why, you might ask? The Caradon coin fits it the most because it's red, and little hint, it's a fire-type deck. We also have, let me close it up. Those are my damage counters. I have a bunch of them. But you might be wondering, why am I carrying around a bunch of burns? Oh, hold on. Let's see why I'm carrying around a bunch of burned coins and poison coins for each. And one, it's because you never know what kind of deck someone's going to be using until you actually fight them. Or not really fight them, but like challenge them to a match and stuff. So not only is it because of that, another reason is because my fire type deck can actually burn. So I have made a fire type deck that can burn pretty much. Most people don't have one, but of course we have my Guard deck, which is my tournament deck that I showed last video. But this time, we have Dark Terror type Charizard sleeves. You might be guessing where this is going. So, let's get into it. So, first, I gotta sort out the Pokemon energies and trainers. I really gotta start doing this before, but I just remembered to make this video. And dinner is soon, so I gotta do this pretty quickly. Oh, and it's getting messy. Let's do this so they're a little bit more neat. Energies don't really matter, but you know, there's a lot of energies. I wouldn't say it's a weird deck, but it's certainly a kind of weird amount of colors. So, let me get the Pokemon cards ready so I can show you the deck. Alright, so it's a pretty straightforward deck. Nothing too confusing. First, we have... I don't really know what else to add, so I just added this. It is a Moltres card with Flare Float and... hold on. Blazing Flight. The ability Flare Float, let's see. If this Pokemon has any fire energy attached, it has no retreat cost. So its original retreat cost is 2, but because of the ability, if I have 1 fire energy on it, I don't have to, it doesn't have any retreat cost. So I'd be able to keep the energy on it. And then Blazing Flight, discard 2 fire energies from this Pokemon. This attack does 120 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, and it does not apply weakness or resistance. So even if it's a water type, it will still do 120 damage. But it is pretty costly. You have to get rid of 2 energies. Next we have 2 Heatmore cards. This one I can show you while I read it off. It has Singe, right? Yeah, same card. It has Singe, which for 1 fire energy, burns the opponent's active Pokemon. And then Charring Breath does 120 damage. And for 2 fire energies, if your opponent's active Pokemon isn't burned, the attack does nothing. So I pretty much have to burn the opponent's active Pokemon to use Charring Breath, which isn't a problem because of a couple of moves later on. But now we have 2 Gorging Fires. The first move is Lunge Out, which does 30 damage for 1 fire energy. Nothing special. But then we get into the second move, which is Blazing Charge, which does 100 plus damage. And if your opponent has 4 or few prize cards remaining, this attack does 70 more damage. So if your opponent has 4 or less prize cards, this attack does 170 damage, which isn't bad. Next we are getting into the other Pokemon. We have 2 Salandit. The first move is Call for Family, which is search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench, and then shuffle your deck. And then Dig Claws, which does 20 damage. Not much, but it's the evolution that I was going after. 2 Salazzle. The first move for 1 energy does 20 damage, and it's called Ring of Fire. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned, and during the opponent's next turn, it cannot retreat, or they cannot retreat their active Pokemon. And then the second move is Flamethrower for 80 damage, which is pretty much discarding. You have to discard an energy after you use it. Specifically, that Ring of Fire move is pretty well. So next, I couldn't find 2 of the same cards of this, so I just did 2 different ones. 2 Darimaka. Let's see. This one has Damage Rush, which is 10 plus damage. Flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 30 more damage for each heads you get. It's pretty cool artwork though. And then this Darumaka has strength, which does 10 damage, and then fire tackle for 50. And then doing so, it takes 20 damage from itself. So it deals 50 damage to the opponent, but it does 20 damage to itself. The one I would want more, I think this Darumaka would be more useful, but in the long run, this one would be a little bit better. But it doesn't really matter, because again, mostly doing it for the evolution, which is 2 Darumaka cards. Nope, Darmanitan. The first move is Heat Assist. For 1 energy, you can attach up to 3 energy cards from your hand onto any of your Pokemon in any way you'd like. And then Darmani Hands, which is for 2 fire energies and a colorless energy. You can deal 30 plus damage and then flip 4 coins. This attack does 50 more damage for each time you get heads. So that's that card. Read that, and then we get into the other cards. We have, I kind of want to change the Moltres out for one of my Slugmas that just burns automatically. But we have 3 different Charmanders. That's kind of, there we go. 3 different Charmanders. We have this Charmander, which has Scratch for 10 damage and Reprisal for 20 times damage. And what it does is for each 20 damage on this Pokemon, it does an extra 20 damage. Hold on. No, I read that wrong. Sorry. It does an extra 20 damage for each damage counter that it has. So it can have up to 40 damage counters. And I'm not doing that math right now. And then we have the second Charmander, which is, I think, the most recent Charmander, which only has Heat Tackle, which does 30 damage, but it also does 100 damage to it. It does 10 damage to itself. I don't like that one. If I had to choose from all of them, I would probably choose this last Charmander. It has Scratch and Flametail. Not much damage, but it doesn't have much special effects and everything. So it makes it a little bit less complicated of a card. Then we have 2 different Charmeleon cards. It'll be a little bit more organized once I get this situated out. 2 Charmander cards. This Charmeleon card has Heat Tackle for 70 damage, but it also does 20 damage to itself. And then this card, again, I would much prefer because it has Combustion for 20 damage and Fire Blast for 90 damage. And for Fire Blast, you only have to discard 1 energy after you use it. I would probably prefer this card more, but... Oh, and This card also has 100 HP. This one only has 90. So, just a little bit. And then the last card is the Dark Terra type Charizard EX, of course, with 330 HP. And it has the ability Infernal Rain. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 basic fire energies and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle your deck. So if I evolve this during my turn, I can take 3 energies from... Well, I can take 3 energies from my deck and put it on any one of my Pokemon. I'd probably do it with this Pokemon. Actually, no, I'd put two on this because the only move that it has is Burning Darkness for 180 plus damage for 2 fire energies. And this attack does 30 more damage for for each prize card your opponent has taken. So if your opponent has 2 prize cards left... Actually, no, I'm not doing that math. Alright, but that's the Pokemon in it. No, I'm thinking I am going to... Actually... yeah, I might get rid of the Moltres for Slugma. But we have Surfer, which allows me to switch my active Pokemon with 1 benched Pokemon. And if I do, I can draw 5 cards. Or I can draw until I have 5 cards in my hand. We have Rare Candy, which basically allows me to put a Stage 2 card onto a basic Pokemon. Pretty much. Which is skipping the first evolution. That is not very good for my deck, but... I don't know, it's a test run. Then we have Technical Machine Evolution, which for one colorless energy, I can choose 2 of my benched Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for a card that evolves from that, put them on the Pokemon to evolve it, and then shuffle my deck. And then we have Earthen Vessel, which pretty much allows me to discard a card from my hand, and doing so, I can draw 2 energies, right? 2? Yeah, 2 energies. And then shuffle my deck. Explorer's Guidance. Look at the top 6 cards of my deck, and take 2, and then discard. Yeah, discard the rest. Not very good. Probably gonna end up changing that. We have a couple switches, which allows me to switch my active Pokemon with one of my bench Pokemon for free. Power Glass. I think I've only seen this card once before this. At the end of your turn, after your attack, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot, you may attach a basic energy from your discard pile onto it, which would help with one of the Pokemon in my deck, because you have to get rid of 2 or whatever. Ancient Booster Energy Capsules for, let's see, where are they? Those are kind of only for like 2 of my Pokemon. My Gorging Fires. And then we have Night Stretcher, which puts a Pokemon or a basic energy from your discard pile back into my hand, which is going to be really nice for those cards that end up getting, like, if I lose my Charizard, I can get it back. Another Explorer's Guidance. Artisan. Once during each player's turn, the player may search their deck for a basic Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box and put it on the bench, which basically consists of EXs, Vs, V-Stars, GXs, all that. Oh, there's a card. Switch. Boss's Orders, which allows me to switch my opponent's Pokemon to one of his bench Pokemon, one of their bench Pokemon. Earthen Vessel, another booster, Ancient Booster Capsule, and another Boss's Orders. And then the basic fire energies. Wow, what a variety. So that's the start of that fire type deck. I'm hoping to change it up a little bit more and hopefully work with my professor to make it somewhat decent. And specifically, I would also like to make 1 or 2 more decks. I'm in the process of making another deck that's an electric deck consisting of 3 different Pokemon: an Iron Thorns EX, Raikou V, and Zeraora V. That hasn't been done yet. Actually, I haven't even decided very much on it, so. But hopefully the next time I make one of these videos, I'll have somewhat of a decent deck that has been completely finished. But I am thinking about getting a specific pre-made deck. I don't know if it's good or not. It's a tournament. I think it got used in the World Series. Wait, yeah, it probably did. It's the Chien-Pao EX deck. I do have, I think, a Chien-Pao in one of my banners. Hold on. This is getting completely off topic, but I just want to show you guys. Let's see. Code cards. It's not this page, or somewhere back here. Well, I look for this. The reason why is because, 1, I want somewhat of, or I want to at least have 1 pre-made deck, just so that in case if I can't use one of my other decks, I can use that deck for a tournament. Oh, here's just a cool card. I have an old Alakazam EX, but we also have a Magnezone V-Star, which I'm probably not going to use, because I only have 1. Oh no, I have a Magnezone EX, but I don't have a V-Star. Here it is. Right here. My Chien-Pao EX. I don't even know when I pulled this, I don't even remember getting this card, but I'm not complaining. It's a pretty cool card. Oh, hold on. I got something to show you. I have to take it out of my bag, but my professor last week gave me a little Pokemon Christmas ornament type thing, and I was originally using it for one of my favorite Pokemon, Frostlass, but even though it is a cool card, if I can get it out, it's a 1 gold star. That's the card. Even though it is a pretty nice Pokemon card, I might put this Chien-Pao EX in there. Let's see how that looks. Because I will take this ornament thing. I'm going to have a Christmas, not a real Christmas tree, but a tiny fake Christmas tree. And I will put it on there. But let me know if I should use the Chien-Pao EX in it, or keep the Frostlass full art in there. Well, that's going to be it for this video. That was actually a lot longer than I expected. I thought it was only going to be like 10 minutes maybe, but I'm looking at the timer and it's 27 minutes. But anyways, make sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And it would keep me motivated to keep making these somewhat pretty entertaining videos. And honestly, I would like to hit 50 subscribers before next year. I don't know if it can happen, but I'm going to try my hardest. I'm going to make a bunch of pretty good videos, and hopefully I'll have some Pokemon tournament videos that I can upload soon, because the last tournament I could not make it because I ended up getting sick. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day or night, and that's it for this video. Goodbye.